There are secrets of the universe that sound like science fiction, but they are real. This audiobook accompanies you for 2 hours through a cosmos filled with oddities, impossible planets, stars that explode in silence, and phenomena that science is just beginning to understand. While you rest, your mind travels farther than ever, exploring stories that seem impossible, until you discover that they are happening right now. Out there, human curiosity is insatiable. Since time immemorial, we have looked up at the stars, dreaming of what might lie beyond our atmosphere. The universe, with its immense complexity, is not only a place of wonders, but also a stage where the dramas of creation and destruction unfold. Every star we see is a beacon of history, a witness to events that took place thousands or even millions of years ago. The vastness of the cosmos can be difficult to comprehend. Think of the ocean. At first glance, it seems like an endless sea, but beneath its surface there are currents, life, and mysteries that we are just beginning to uncover. Similarly, the universe is filled with extraordinary phenomena that challenge our understanding. From newborn stars in nebulae to the titanic collisions of galaxies, every corner of the cosmos has something to teach us. What is really out there in space? A simple answer would be that it is a void. But that is just a part of the puzzle. Space is filled with gas, cosmic dust, radiation, and gravitational forces that shape everything we know. If we could travel through the universe, we would discover that each star, each planet, each black hole is a piece of a gigantic puzzle that extends beyond our imagination. The exploration of the cosmos not only offers us answers, but also sparks new questions. Why do some stars live billions of years while others explode in a brief burst of light? What forces shape galaxies, and how do they relate to each other across the vast fabric of the universe? These questions take us on a fascinating journey where each discovery opens the door to new mysteries. On this journey, it is essential to remember that each of us is a small but significant component of this vast universe. Just as the atoms that make up our bodies were forged in the hearts of stars, we are intrinsically connected to everything around us. Looking up on a clear night reminds us that we are not alone. We are part of something much larger than ourselves. The beauty of the cosmos lies in its diversity, from the planets orbiting their stars to the clusters of galaxies grouped in the vast darkness. Each element has its own role in this cosmic symphony, and as we deepen our understanding, we begin to appreciate the harmony of nature and the complexity of its design. Through this audiobook, I invite you to join me on this exploration. As we unravel the secrets of the universe, we will encounter phenomena that challenge our logic and inspire us to keep inquiring. Science, curiosity, and imagination are our tools on this journey, and together we will discover the wonders that the cosmos has to offer. Each chapter of our journey will take us to a new horizon where the stars shine with their own light and the planets dance in their orbits. We will encounter black holes, distant galaxies, and the dark matter that makes up much of our universe but remains hidden from our senses. We will learn about the life cycle of stars, from their birth in nebulae to their explosive death, and how these processes impact the universe. As we progress, we will remember that the pursuit of knowledge is endless. Each discovery leads us to new questions, and each answer opens the door to other mysteries. The cosmos is an open book, waiting to be read, and each of us has a page to add to its story. On this journey, we will not only witness the majesty of the universe, but also reflect on our place within it. Understanding the cosmos invites us to admire its beauty and recognize the fragility of our existence in the vastness of space. Each life is a fleeting spark, but each spark is also an integral part of this extraordinary whole. So, without further ado, let us prepare to dive into the wonders of the universe. Each star is a beacon of knowledge, and every question we ask is a step toward understanding what it means to be part of this vast and beautiful cosmos. In the vast cosmic ocean, there is a fascinating phenomenon that gives life to stars, nebulae. These enormous clouds of gas and dust are like the workshops of an artist, where the brilliant orbs that illuminate our sky are forged. But how does this spectacular process of star formation occur? The answer lies in the complex dance of gravity and matter. Nebulae are primarily composed of hydrogen, the simplest and most abundant element in the universe. Imagine a huge helium balloon slowly deflating. As the gas cools, particles begin to clump together, forming small groupings. This process is called condensation, and it is the first step toward the formation of a star. But what happens next? When these gas groupings become dense enough, gravity starts to play a crucial role. As matter accumulates, the pressure in the core increases and the temperature begins to rise. It's like squeezing a ball of dough to make bread. The more you squeeze, the more heat is generated. In this case, the heat is vital, as it is what will allow the star to be born. Once the temperature in the core of the nebula reaches millions of degrees, the process of nuclear fusion begins. Did you know that fusion is like a cosmic birthday party? In it, hydrogen nuclei combine to form helium, releasing an enormous amount of energy. That energy is what we see as light and heat. And it is what keeps the star bright and alive. But the life of a star is not eternal. As it consumes its fuel, hydrogen, it begins to change. Imagine a lamp running out of battery. The light gradually dims. When the hydrogen runs out, the star enters a new phase of its life. It expands and becomes a red giant. This is a critical moment, as the star is about to transform once again. At the end of its life cycle, a star can die in different ways. Some small stars become white dwarfs, while larger ones explode in impressive supernovae, leaving behind planetary nebulae that can give rise to new stars. Each death is a new opportunity, a circle that continues and continues in the vast tapestry of the universe. But what role do these stars play in the cosmos? Their light not only illuminates the night sky but also provides the necessary elements for life. Through nuclear fusion, stars create heavier elements like carbon, oxygen, and iron, which are essential for the formation of planets and, ultimately, life itself. Without stars, our planet would be a very different place. As stars are born, live and die, they create and destroy. This endless cycle is what shapes the universe. Every star we see in the sky is a testament to this process, a story of creation and transformation. And although stars seem eternal, their cycle is a reminder that everything in the cosmos is in constant change. The next time you look up at the starry sky, remember that each point of light is the result of millions of years of history. From the explosion of a supernova to the formation of a new nebula, the universe is full of wonders that invite us to explore. Each star is a page in the book of the cosmos, and each has its own story to tell. The formation of stars is not only a beautiful spectacle, but also a testament to the complexity and interconnectedness of the universe. It reminds us that, although we are a small part of this vast cosmos, our lives are intertwined with the history of the stars. So how about we continue exploring these wonders? From the birth of a star to its death, the journey is fascinating and invites us to reflect on our place in this immense universe. The next time you look out the window and see the sky, think about the stories each star has to share and remember that the adventure of exploration is endless. If you're enjoying this journey through the universe and want to keep exploring more cosmic mysteries, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Thank you for being part of this Star Odyssey. Stars, those bright points of light in the night sky, have a fascinating life that goes far beyond what our eyes can see. Have you ever wondered how they are born? From the moment they form in gigantic clouds of gas and dust to their eventual disappearance, the life cycle of stars is an epic tale filled with drama and transformation. The journey of a star begins in what is known as a nebula, a vast cloud of hydrogen, helium, and other elements. Within these nebulae, perfect conditions arise for cosmic magic. But what causes a nebula to become a star? The answer lies in gravity, that mysterious force that pulls everything toward itself. As gas and dust accumulate, gravity does its work, creating incredible pressure that initiates a fascinating process. When the pressure reaches a sufficient level, hydrogen begins to fuse into helium in the core of the new star. This process of nuclear fusion not only generates a tremendous amount of energy, but also marks the beginning of a star's life. Thus, a young, bright and hot star begins to illuminate the cosmos. Isn't it amazing to think that the same process that fuels our sun is happening in billions of stars across the universe? Over time, stars go through different stages. A star like our sun, for example, has a lifespan of about 10 billion years. During its life, it maintains a delicate balance between the gravity trying to collapse it and the pressure generated by nuclear fusion within. But what happens when the fuel runs out? This is where the story becomes even more intriguing. When hydrogen is depleted in the core of a star, it begins to expand and becomes a red giant. Imagine a bubble inflating to its maximum size. In this state, the star can engulf nearby planets, including, in the case of our solar system, Mercury and Venus. But this is not the end, it is merely a transformation. After this expansive phase, the star will eventually shed its outer layers, creating a planetary nebula. This spectacle of lights and colors is the legacy that many stars leave at the end of their lives. What remains at the center is a white dwarf, a dense and hot remnant that cools slowly over billions of years. But not all stars follow this path. Those that are significantly more massive than our sun have a dramatic fate. They become supernovae, titanic explosions that can shine brighter than an entire galaxy for a brief period. Can you imagine witnessing such a spectacular event? Supernovae are not only a spectacle that lights up the sky, but they are also fundamental to the creation of new elements. When they explode, they scatter heavy materials into space, seeding the next generation of stars and planets. Thus, the death of a star can be the beginning of new forms of life on other worlds. Isn't it fascinating how life and death are intertwined in the cosmos? As stars die and are reborn, they also influence their surroundings. Supernova explosions can trigger the formation of new nebulae, where matter groups together again to give rise to stars. This cycle of life, death and rebirth repeats over billions of years, creating a constantly changing and evolving universe. Stars also form part of stellar systems, where they share their space with other celestial bodies. These interactions can lead to a phenomenon known as gravitational capture, where one star can attract another into its orbit. This cosmic dance is a reminder that in the universe nothing is truly alone. Stars are part of a larger whole, united by the dance of gravity. When we look up at the sky, we sometimes think that each star is a world unto itself, but how many stories are hidden behind each one of them? Every star we see has gone through a unique journey with its own ups and downs. Some may be young and bright, while others are already in their twilight, leaving behind a trail of dust and gas that will nourish future generations. Exploring the life cycle of stars not only helps us better understand the cosmos, but also connects us to our own existence. After all, the elements that make up our bodies were created in the hearts of stars. So the next time you look up, remember that you are not just seeing lights in the sky, but the stories of billions of years of cosmic evolution. Isn't it incredible to think that we are part of this vast and wonderful web of stellar life? Nuclear fusion is an astonishing phenomenon that occurs in the hearts of stars, where conditions are so extreme that they allow for the transformation of elements. But what does nuclear fusion really mean? And why is it so crucial for the universe? To understand it, we must dive into the fascinating world of stellar energy. In the core of a star, temperatures reach millions of degrees. This extreme heat, combined with incredible pressure, creates an environment where hydrogen nuclei can come together. Think of it as a cosmic party where hydrogen atoms are the guests that, when they collide with enough energy, manage to fuse together to form helium. This fusion is not just a casual encounter, it is a process that releases an immense amount of energy, manifesting as light and heat. Without this energy, stars could not shine, and the universe would be a very different place. What would happen if nuclear fusion did not exist? If stars could not generate energy, they would extinguish, becoming dark and cold bodies. Life on Earth, as we know it, depends on the light and heat provided by stars. Fusion is, therefore, the engine that drives life, allowing plants to grow and ultimately enabling human existence. The energy generated in the core of a star makes its way to the surface, traveling through layers of gas and plasma. This journey is not simple. It can take thousands of years to reach the exterior. Once it finally emerges, that energy radiates into space, illuminating the night sky and allowing starlight to reach us. Imagine that every beam of light you see on a clear night is a message sent from a distant past, a flash of energy that has traveled through time and space. As a star consumes its fuel, its fusion process becomes more complex. When hydrogen runs out, the star begins to fuse helium into heavier elements, such as carbon and oxygen. This process is like a cosmic orchestra, where each element becomes part of a symphony. But what happens when the star runs out of fuel? This is where the story becomes even more intriguing. The most massive stars experience a spectacular explosion at the end of their lives, known as a supernova. During this explosion, enormous amounts of energy are released, and even heavier elements such as iron are formed. This event is not only an impressive visual spectacle, but is also fundamental to the creation of the universe, as it disperses these elements into space, enriching the interstellar medium and providing the necessary material to form new stars, planets, and potentially life. What about smaller stars? These may end their lives in a less dramatic fashion, becoming white dwarfs. Although their end is more subtle, these stars also play a crucial role in the life cycle of the universe. As they cool and fade away, they release the elements they have created during their lives, contributing to the formation of future generations of stars. Nuclear fusion is not only the engine of stars, but also a phenomenon that teaches us about our own place in the cosmos. Each of us is made of the same elements that were forged in the hearts of these luminous giants. So, when you look up at the starry sky, remember that you are not just observing light, you are witnessing the result of millions of years of nuclear fusion, a reminder that we are all interconnected through time and space. The quest to understand nuclear fusion has led scientists to attempt to replicate this process on Earth, hoping to create a clean and virtually inexhaustible energy source. If they succeed, we could be on the brink of a new era of sustainable energy, inspired by the very process that fuels the stars. However, nuclear fusion remains a mystery in many aspects. Despite advancements, there is still much to learn about how to maximize its potential. Each new discovery brings us closer to unraveling the secrets of how nature harnesses this powerful force. Nuclear fusion is undoubtedly one of the wonders of the universe. It shows us how, from simple elements, matter can be transformed into energy, generating light and heat that bring life to the worlds we know. In every bright star in the sky, there is a story of transformation, a tale of how energy becomes life and ultimately ourselves. So the next time you look at the stars, think of the incredible dance of nuclear fusion occurring in their hearts. Every flash of light is a reminder of the power of nature and how, through complex and beautiful processes, the cosmos we inhabit is formed. Nuclear fusion is just one of the many wonders awaiting us in the exploration of the universe. What other secrets does the cosmos hold? The adventure is just beginning. Star systems are like vast cosmic wardrobes where each star is a garment that shines with its own style. But how do these wardrobes form? What makes them so fascinating and diverse? To understand this, we must first think about the immensity of space and how stars do not exist alone. Each star is born in a nebula, a cloud of gas and dust floating in space. Imagine a great cosmic kitchen where the ingredients combine to create something extraordinary. In this case, those ingredients are hydrogen, helium, and other light elements. When the conditions are right, these clouds collapse under their own gravity, forming a hot and bright sphere. Isn't it amazing to think that, just as a chef combines flavors, the universe combines elements to give life to stars? But what happens after a star is born? Like a human being, stars have a life cycle. They begin as fire giants, shining brightly as they fuse hydrogen into helium in their cores. This fusion process is like a campfire that never goes out, providing energy for millions of years. Can you imagine living that long? Some stars can even shine for billions of years, almost like an eternal beacon in the darkness of the cosmos. Over time, stars exhaust their fuel. That bright campfire begins to burn out, and the star enters a new phase. Depending on its mass, it will go through different stages. Smaller stars like our Sun will become red giants and eventually shed their outer layers, leaving behind a hot core that becomes a white dwarf. But what about the larger stars? These can explode in a supernova, an event so powerful that it can shine brighter than an entire galaxy for a brief moment. Isn't it fascinating how a star can end its life with such splendor? Once stars die, their legacy does not end. The remaining nebulae are the perfect setting for new stars. Thus, the stellar life cycle becomes a virtuous circle where death gives way to life. This leads us to wonder, how do these stars influence their surroundings? When they die, they enrich space with essential elements for life, such as carbon, oxygen, and nitrogen. Without these contributions, life as we know it could not exist. Thinking about this, another intriguing question arises. How are stars organized in their systems? Just like a solar system, where planets orbit around a star, there are stellar systems in the universe that can contain several stars. These systems can be as simple as a pair of stars orbiting each other, or as complex as star clusters, where thousands of stars coexist. Can you imagine the spectacle of so many stars dancing together in vast space? Gravity plays a fundamental role in organizing these systems. It is like a conductor ensuring that each star and each planet stays in its place. But what happens when there are too many stars in one place? Sometimes these stars can interact with each other, attracting and repelling one another, creating a cosmic dance that can result in mergers or even the formation of more complex systems. And speaking of systems, we cannot forget the planets that accompany these stars. Some may be rocky like Earth, while others are gas giants. The diversity of planets is astonishing. They can have dense atmospheres, bright rings, or even oceans of lava. Each one tells a unique story about its parent star and its journey through time. In this vast universe, exploring star systems allows us to better understand our place in it. Each discovery about a star or a planet brings us one step closer to understanding the wonders of the cosmos. How many secrets do the stars that shine in our nights still hold? And so, as we marvel at the ballet of stars and their systems, we must remember that each one has a story to tell, a life cycle intertwined with many others. In this immense cosmic stage, life and death intertwine, creating a fabric that shapes our universe and perhaps life itself. Exploring these systems not only helps us understand the cosmos, but also connects us to our own existence. So, as you look up at the starry sky, remember that those twinkling lights are more than just simple points. They are stories of life, death, and rebirth, inviting us to continue exploring and learning about the infinite mystery of the universe. What new wonders await us in the vastness of space? The answer is out there, waiting to be discovered. In the vast stage of the cosmos, where stars shine like beacons in the darkness, planets revolve in a cosmic ballet that has fascinated humanity since time immemorial. But have you ever stopped to think about how those planets move? The dance of the planets is an extraordinary phenomenon, a choreography that follows the strict laws of physics and gravity. What invisible forces keep these worlds in their orbits? The answer lies in the subtle yet powerful interaction of gravity. Each planet has its own story, its own path. Some are faster than others, and their movements are like a symphonic orchestra, where each instrument has its role, its rhythm. Can you imagine Earth spinning around in an eternal journey? As it travels in its orbit around the Sun, it performs a perfect dance, combining speed with the Sun's gravitational pull. It's like a juggler tossing a ball into the air, but instead of falling, it follows a curved path, always returning to its starting point. Gravity, that force we often take for granted, is the thread that connects this dance. Without it, planets would have no place in the cosmos. But how does it really work? Imagine the Sun as a gigantic bowling ball at the center of a dance floor. The planets, like small marbles, spin around it. The closer they are to the sphere, the faster they move, trying to escape its pull. yet always being drawn back. It's a continuous game of push and pull where each planet must find its balance. What's surprising is that even the Moon, our closest satellite, participates in this cosmic dance. The Moon not only orbits Earth, but it also influences our planet. Its gravity causes the tides, creating a flow and ebb in our oceans. Have you ever wondered how it would feel if your movement were influenced by another celestial body? The Moon, in its own journey, also feels the force of Earth, establishing a unique connection between the two. As we look beyond our solar system, the dance of the planets becomes even more fascinating. There are complete planetary systems where multiple worlds orbit around the same star, creating a spectacle of movements. How do they relate to each other? Imagine a large family of dancers where each member has their own style, yet all follow the same music. The gravitational interaction between them can cause their orbits to change over time, as if they were adapting to the rhythm of the music. In some systems, the planets can be very different from one another. Some are gas giants, while others are rocky and small. This contrast adds another layer to the dance, where each type of planet has its own step and its own space. How can a gas planet, which seems so light, affect a rocky one? The answer lies in the force of gravity, which acts like a conductor, ensuring everyone keeps in time. Distance also plays a crucial role in this dance. The planets farther from the Sun move more slowly, as if they are in a more relaxed dance. Meanwhile, those closer spin rapidly, as if enjoying a lively party. Can you imagine what it would be like to live on a planet that takes decades to complete a single orbit around its star? That is the reality for some celestial bodies in our universe. And it's not just about gravity. The rotation of the planets also affects their dance. Some planets can spin on their axes in a matter of hours, while others take days. This rotation can influence their climate, their atmosphere, and ultimately their ability to support life. Have you ever thought about what a day would be like on a planet that spins slowly, where the sun moves lazily across the sky? As we explore further, we must mention the influence of asteroids and comets. These small bodies can cross the orbits of planets, momentarily altering their dance. Like an intruder slipping into the dance, they can cause unexpected changes. And while they are often considered dangerous, they also serve as reminders that the cosmos is full of surprises. The way planets group together is also intriguing. In some systems, they are nearly perfectly aligned, while in others, their orbits are more chaotic. What determines this arrangement? The history of each planetary system, its past collisions and mergers, shapes how its components are organized today. Through the observation of other solar systems, we have discovered that the dance of the planets is not exclusive to our home. There are thousands of exoplanets orbiting distant stars, each with its own rhythm and style. What stories would they tell if they could speak? The search for these worlds and their orbital patterns is one of the greatest challenges of modern astronomy. The dance of the planets is, at its core, a celebration of the nature of our universe. It teaches us about the beauty of gravity, the diversity of celestial bodies, and the harmony found in chaos. Every spin and every turn is a reminder that, although it may seem we are alone in this vast universe, we are actually part of a cosmic ballet that has been ongoing for billions of years. So the next time you look up at the starry sky, remember that you are not just seeing bright points, but dancers in an infinite choreography, each playing its role in the grand spectacle of the cosmos. In the vast universe we inhabit, there are countless mysteries that intrigue us, and one of the most fascinating is the existence of exoplanets. What exactly are they? They are planets that orbit stars outside our solar system, in worlds we have yet to explore. But how do we know they exist? The answer lies in human ingenuity and the technology we have developed to observe the most distant stars. For decades, astronomers have looked to the sky with telescopes designed to detect small variations in the light from stars. When an exoplanet passes in front of its star, it blocks a small fraction of light, a phenomenon known as transit. This subtle flicker can be an indication of a distant world where conditions might be suitable for life. This is how we began to discover that we are not alone in the universe. The search for exoplanets has revealed an astonishing variety of worlds, from gas giants the size of Jupiter, which orbit so close to their stars that their temperature exceeds that of an oven, to small rocky planets that could be similar to Earth. Each discovery invites us to ask, what is on those worlds? Could they harbor water, the essence of life? Or perhaps they have atmospheres completely different from ours? Some exoplanets are found in what is called the habitable zone, that region around a star where temperatures are suitable for water to exist in liquid form. Imagine a planet covered in oceans with continents that could support life. The possibility that creatures, vegetation, and ecosystems exist on those distant worlds awakens the curiosity of scientists and dreamers alike. The methods we use to discover these exoplanets are as diverse as the planets themselves. In addition to the transit method, there is the radial velocity technique, which measures the movement of a star caused by the gravity of an orbiting planet. This tug-of-war between the planet and the star is like a cosmic dance, where each affects the other's movement. Isn't it impressive to think that we can detect the presence of a world thousands of light years away just by the gravitational pull it exerts on its star? In our search, we have encountered solar systems that challenge our understanding. Some have more than one exoplanet orbiting, while others present peculiar configurations such as planets moving in unusual elliptical paths. This type of diversity makes us question the formation of planetary systems and the trajectory they have followed throughout their history. The fascination with exoplanets is not limited to their discovery. The study of these distant worlds helps us better understand our own home, Earth. By comparing the atmospheric composition of an exoplanet with ours, we can learn more about how life has formed and evolved on our planet. Could an Earth-like exoplanet be the setting for a future human journey? This idea fills us with hope and excitement. However, the search for life on other worlds is not an easy path. The vastness of space and the distances involved are daunting. Using increasingly powerful telescopes such as the James Webb Space Telescope, we are beginning to open a window into the atmosphere of some exoplanets. Analyzing the light that passes through their atmosphere may reveal the presence of elements that could indicate the possibility of life, such as oxygen or methane. This search is, in essence, an attempt to answer one of humanity's oldest questions. Are we alone in the universe? Science fiction has fueled our imagination about exoplanets, and although they are often portrayed in stories of space adventures, the reality is even more astonishing. Each new discovery is like a chapter in a book that never ends, full of unexpected twists and surprises. As we advance in our exploration, each exoplanet we find offers us a new story, a new opportunity to understand the diversity of the cosmos. Exploring space and discovering exoplanets is a testament to human ingenuity. Thanks to international collaboration and advances in technology, we have managed to look beyond our solar system. Every time an astronomer peers through their telescope, they become an explorer of the unknown, a seeker of answers in a universe full of questions. The search for exoplanets not only offers us the possibility of finding life, but also invites us to reflect on our own existence and our place in the cosmos. In such a vast universe, the idea that we could be part of an interplanetary community is undoubtedly a fascinating thought. What secrets do those distant worlds hold? What stories have we yet to tell? The exploration continues, and the journey has only just begun. So, as we continue to look to the sky, let us remember that every shining star may have its own world orbiting around it. The search for exoplanets is a reminder that human curiosity knows no bounds, and that in every discovery we find a piece of our own questions about the universe. The adventure of exploring the unknown never ends, and the cosmos remains a vast ocean of possibilities waiting to be discovered. Black holes are one of the most fascinating and mysterious phenomena in the universe, but how do they form? To understand this, we first need to think about a massive star. Imagine a bright sphere burning in space. generating light and heat through the process of nuclear fusion in its core. But what happens when that star runs out of fuel? It is at this critical moment that an astonishing transformation begins. A massive star, at the end of its life, experiences a spectacular explosion known as a supernova. This event is not only an explosion of light and energy, but also a key moment that can lead to the formation of a black hole. During the supernova, the outer part of the star is expelled into space, leaving behind an extremely dense core. But why can this core become a black hole? This is where gravity comes into play. Gravity is a powerful force. In the case of a collapsed stellar core, its gravity is so intense that it can attract all surrounding matter. If the core has sufficient mass, this gravitational pull can continue, making it so that nothing, not even light, can escape. This is how a black hole forms, a point in space where gravity is so strong that it becomes a trap for everything that approaches. Isn't it fascinating to think that there are places in the universe where light cannot escape? But what is inside a black hole? Science still does not have a definitive answer to this question. It is believed that inside there exists a singularity, a point where the laws of physics as we know them cease to function. Imagine a place where time and space behave completely differently. This singularity is the heart of the black hole, but surrounding it is the event horizon, a boundary that marks the point of no return. Once you cross this limit, there is no turning back. But what would happen if you could cross the event horizon? What would your experience be like? As you approach the event horizon, you would feel gravity intensifying. This phenomenon is known as spaghettification. Can you imagine? It's as if you were being stretched and crushed at the same time, deforming your body as you get closer. In this sense, black holes are not just mysterious objects, but also phenomena that challenge our understanding of reality. What could this mean for life as we know it? Black holes also play a crucial role in the evolution of galaxies. It is thought that many of them are located at the center of galaxies, acting as true cosmic monsters that influence the formation and growth of their surroundings. Have you ever imagined what it would be like to live in a galaxy with a black hole at its center? The gravity it exerts could affect the trajectory of stars and planets, creating a dynamic and fascinating environment. Moreover, black holes are not static. They can grow by absorbing matter from their surroundings, devouring stars, gas, and cosmic dust. This process generates an intense glow known as accretion radiation, which can be observed from great distances. In fact, some black holes are so voracious that they emit jets of particles at speeds close to that of light. This phenomenon is impressive and provides us with clues about the nature of these enigmatic objects. But what do these jets mean for the universe? The existence of black holes has also led to intriguing theories about the structure of space-time. Some hypotheses suggest that they could be gateways to other universes or dimensions. Can you imagine a journey through a black hole that takes you to a completely different place? This idea has been explored in science fiction, but could there be some truth to it? Science is still investigating these possibilities, and each discovery brings us a little closer to unraveling the secrets of the cosmos. The study of black holes has also driven advances in theoretical physics. The search for a unified theory that combines general relativity and quantum mechanics is one of the greatest challenges of modern physics. Black holes sit at the intersection of these two disciplines, raising fundamental questions about the nature of time, space, and reality itself. Could we come to understand how they really work? In recent years, we have been able to observe black holes directly thanks to advances in technology. The first image of a black hole obtained by the Event Horizon Telescope was a milestone in modern astronomy. This image showed the shadow of a black hole at the center of the M87 galaxy and was a monumental step in our understanding of these cosmic giants. What other secrets could they reveal to us in the future? The exploration of black holes not only helps us understand the universe, but also invites us to reflect on our own existence in such a vast and enigmatic cosmos. We often find ourselves questioning our place in it. The existence of these cosmic monsters reminds us that there is much more to discover and understand. What mysteries does the universe hold for us? Finally, Black holes are a reminder of the grandeur and complexity of the cosmos. They challenge us to look beyond the known and question what we believe we know. As we continue our exploration of the universe, black holes will remain an object of fascination, a symbol of the limits of science and a call to keep seeking answers. Who knows what discoveries await us in the future? Each new revelation about them could open the door to a deeper understanding of reality and our place within it. In this cosmic journey, black holes are just one of the many mysteries that invite us to explore and marvel. In the vast cosmic ocean, where each star shines like a beacon in the night, we find a fascinating phenomenon: galaxies. What exactly are galaxies, and why are they so important for understanding the universe? These immense collections of stars, gas, dust, and dark matter are like islands in space, each with its own character and structure. Some are spiral, like a whirlpool of light, while others are elliptical, with softer, rounded shapes. There are even irregular galaxies which seem to have been sculpted by the chaos of the cosmos. Let's think of galaxies as large cities. How are they organized? At the center of many galaxies, including our Milky Way, there is a supermassive black hole, a kind of cosmic monster that attracts everything around it. Imagine the hustle and bustle of a central square where everything converges, and how the stars orbit around it as if they were inhabitants of that city, following gravitational paths that maintain their order and balance. This dance is fundamental to the stability of the galaxy itself. When looking at the sky, it's easy to feel small when contemplating the immensity of the universe, but here arises an intriguing question. How many galaxies are there? Astronomers estimate that there could be more than 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. That's trillion, with a T for bubbles of stars and worlds yet to be discovered. Each of these galaxies is a cosmic laboratory where processes occur that shape the matter and energy around us. Each galaxy has its own story, a narrative that spans billions of years. How do they form? It all begins with small fluctuations in the gravitational field which attract gas and dust. Over time, these clouds of material condense and form stars. Thus, each galaxy is a complex ecosystem where stars are born, live and die, and their remnants feed the creation of new generations of stars. It's an endless cycle of life and death. Galaxies are also the stage for spectacular events. Have you ever imagined what a collision between galaxies would be like? These types of interactions can be dramatic, like a cosmic dance that transforms everything in its path. When two galaxies meet, their gravitational forces can distort their shapes, tear stars from their orbits, and in some cases, even merge into a new galaxy. This process is not instantaneous. It can take billions of years, but it results in an explosion of stellar activity and the creation of new stars. Let's talk about the diversity in galaxies. Did you know that galaxies can be classified into different types? Spiral galaxies, as we mentioned, have arms that extend from a central core. Elliptical galaxies, on the other hand, are more uniform and lack these distinctive features. This type of classification helps us understand how galaxies develop and evolve over time. But what about irregular galaxies? These are a puzzle, often resulting from gravitational interactions and collisions. Their chaotic shape can offer us clues about the history of the universe. The light we see in galaxies tells us stories about their past. When we observe a distant galaxy, we are looking back in time, sometimes billions of years. What secrets do they reveal to us? By analyzing the light they emit, astronomers can determine the composition of stars, the presence of gas and dust, and even the activity of black holes at their centers. Each flash and color is a clue about the evolution of that galaxy and its environment. However, not everything is visible. Dark matter, that mysterious substance that does not emit light or energy, plays a crucial role in the structure of galaxies. Although we cannot see it directly, its influence is undeniable. Without it, galaxies would not have the same cohesion and stability. It's like the invisible scaffolding that supports a building, keeping everything in place. The question of whether we are alone in the universe is also connected to galaxies. With billions of stars in each galaxy, each with its own system of planets, the possibility that other habitable worlds exist is fascinating. How many civilizations might be observing their own galaxies? Wondering the same thing? This idea invites us to reflect on our place in the cosmos and the search for life beyond our planet. As telescopes become more powerful, our understanding of galaxies continues to expand. New technologies allow us to explore regions of the universe that were previously beyond our reach. Each discovery brings more questions, challenging our conceptions of the nature of the cosmos. What else awaits us in this vast and mysterious expanse of space? In conclusion, galaxies are more than just collections of stars. They are dynamic and vibrant communities that offer us a glimpse into the history of the universe. From their stunning formations to their chaotic interactions, each galaxy tells a unique story. So the next time you look at the stars, remember that each one of them is part of a vast galactic tapestry, a reminder of the beauty and complexity of our universe. We explore not only space but also time, the origin and the future of everything we know. What happens when two gigantic groups of stars meet in the vast ocean of space? The collision of galaxies is one of the most spectacular events in the universe, a true cosmic dance that transforms the structures and destinies of these immense clusters of stars. But how does this dance occur? And what implications does it have for the cosmos? When we think of galaxies, we often imagine enormous bright spirals or ellipticals in the night sky, but what many people don't know is that these giants are not alone. In the vast universe, there are billions of galaxies, each with its own set of stars, planets, and mysteries. Occasionally, these galaxies come close, and due to the force of gravity, they begin to interact with one another. Just like two magnets that attract each other, galaxies can exert an irresistible force on one another, and this is where the spectacle begins. So what happens when two galaxies meet? First, it is essential to understand that these collisions are not like cars crashing on a road. Although galaxies appear to be filled with stars, most of their space is empty. When they meet, the stars within each galaxy have an extremely low probability of colliding with one another. Instead, what really happens is that the galaxies deform. Their shapes distort, and their stars may be pushed into new trajectories. Imagine a dance in which the galaxies spin and intertwine like two dancers on a starry stage. As they approach and touch, their arms intertwine, and new shapes are created. This is a process that can take millions of years to complete, a true cosmic waltz that transforms the landscape of the universe. But what happens to the stars that inhabit these galaxies? During a collision, gravity can cause stars to group together, often leading to the formation of new stars in regions where gas and dust concentrate. This phenomenon can be spectacular. In a galactic collision, the creation of new stars can increase dramatically, as if the galaxies were producing cosmic fireworks. The explosions of new bright stars can illuminate space, creating visual displays that dazzle astronomers. However, not everything is beauty in this dance. As they merge, galaxies can also experience chaos. Some stars may be ejected from their original galaxies, being hurled through the vacuum of space like projectiles. This can destabilize stellar systems and alter the course of the evolution of the involved galaxies. Thus, each collision is not only a visual event, but also a process that can determine the future of billions of stars. Galactic collisions are not rare in the universe. In fact, it is believed that our own Milky Way is on a collision course with the Andromeda Galaxy. In about 4 billion years, these two large galaxies will merge, and the night sky will change dramatically for those looking from Earth. But before that happens, it is fascinating to imagine how the structures of both galaxies will transform, creating new constellations and perhaps new opportunities for life. The interaction between galaxies can also unleash extraordinary phenomena, such as the formation of galaxy clusters. These clusters are massive groups that contain hundreds or thousands of interconnected galaxies. It's like a cosmic party where galaxies come together, and each new encounter can lead to new interactions and formations. Moreover, these mergers can influence the formation of supermassive black holes at the centers of galaxies. When galaxies collide, their cores can merge as well, potentially resulting in the creation of an even more massive black hole. This process is a reminder of how the universe is in constant change, and how even the most powerful forces can be the result of collisions and unexpected encounters. Sometimes these collisions can also be the catalyst for the creation of life. In the mix of elements and energy produced during these interactions, there may be the right conditions for planets to form and, over time, life. So in a sense, galactic collisions can be seen as a cosmic dance that not only transforms space, but can also be the beginning of something new and beautiful. Science has made significant strides in understanding these phenomena, but there is still so much to learn. Each collision of galaxies is an opportunity to investigate how the structures of the universe form and how matter and energy intertwine in a cosmic ballet. Observations continue, and each new discovery brings us closer to unraveling the secrets hidden in the vast and incomprehensible universe. The wonder of galaxy collisions reminds us that despite the immensity of the cosmos, everything is interconnected. The forces that shape galaxies also influence our own existence. Every star we see in the sky is part of this grand story, a tale that continues to unfold on the canvas of space and time. So as we look up, let us remember that we are not just seeing stars. We are contemplating the result of an infinite dance that has been occurring since the beginning of time. Dark matter is one of the greatest mysteries of the universe. Although we cannot see or touch it, we know it is there. How is it possible that something we cannot perceive has such a significant influence on what surrounds us? To understand this, we must first think about how things behave in the cosmos. Imagine you are in a vast ocean. When you look around, you only see water, but beneath there are enormous currents moving everything around. Dark matter acts in a similar way. Although we do not see it, its presence is fundamental. Scientists have concluded that dark matter makes up approximately 25% of the universe, but what exactly is it? Unlike ordinary matter, which is made up of atoms and composes stars, planets, and of course us, dark matter does not emit light or radiation. It is like a shadow in space, invisible but omnipresent. So how do we know it exists? One of the most exciting clues comes from the way galaxies move. When we observe a galaxy, we see that the stars at its edge are moving at astonishing speeds. If we only considered the visible matter, these stars should fly out of the galaxy as if they were running too fast to be contained by gravity. However, they do not. This behavior suggests that there is something else at play, something we cannot see but that is exerting a gravitational force on these stars. This is where dark matter comes into play. Imagine you are at a party and you feel someone gently pushing you from behind. You cannot see that person, but the feeling of being pushed is real. Dark matter acts like that invisible hand pushing stars and galaxies, keeping them together in the vast space. Without it, our understanding of the universe would be quite different. In addition to influencing the movement of galaxies, dark matter also plays a crucial role in the very structure of the universe. Think of a fishing net. The strings that hold it together are like dark matter, connecting different parts of the cosmos. Without those strings, the net would collapse and we would not have the impressive structure we see today, with galaxies clustered in groups and superclusters. The intriguing nature of dark matter has led scientists to develop various theories and models to try to understand it. Some of these theories suggest that dark matter is composed of exotic particles that we have never detected. Think of a puzzle that we have not yet managed to assemble. Each piece represents a new clue about the composition of the universe. Every discovery we make about dark matter brings us a little closer to completing that picture. Despite our efforts, dark matter remains elusive. We have built large underground detectors and also space observatories, all in search of that mysterious particle, but so far it has managed to evade us. It is like trying to catch smoke with your hands. You know it is there, but you cannot hold it. So why is it so important to understand dark matter? The answer is simple. Without it, the history of the universe would not make sense. Its presence has shaped the way galaxies form and evolve. Every star, every planet, every form of life on Earth exists thanks to the interaction of dark matter with visible matter. It is a reminder that there is much more in the universe than what we can see. As scientists continue to investigate, each new finding about dark matter may lead us to even deeper questions. Could there be other types of matter that we have not discovered? What role do they play in the evolution of the universe? The search for answers is not only fascinating but also connects us to the very essence of the human desire to understand our place in the cosmos. Dark matter invites us to reflect on the nature of reality. What is reality if there are things that exist beyond our perception? It challenges us to think beyond the visible, to consider that the universe is a place full of secrets waiting to be discovered. Every unanswered question opens the door to new possibilities. And that is what makes science so exciting. In conclusion, although dark matter is an enigma, its influence is undeniable. It is the invisible thread that weaves the fabric of the universe, giving it shape and structure. As we advance in our exploration of the cosmos, dark matter will continue to be a symbol of the human quest for knowledge and understanding. With each new discovery, we come a little closer to unraveling the secrets of existence itself. The journey has just begun, and the universe, with all its mysteries, awaits us. Did you know that the universe has a surprisingly organized structure, like a vast spiderweb? This cosmic network, spanning billions of light years, connects galaxies, galaxy clusters, and filaments of dark matter. But how did this intricate web form, and what does it really mean for us? Visualize a huge three-dimensional map. On this map, galaxies are like tiny bright dots, arranged not randomly but following patterns that reveal the history of the cosmos. This pattern is not just a curiosity, it is the key to understanding how the universe was created and how it has evolved over time. Scientists have discovered that the distribution of galaxies is not uniform. Some areas are densely populated, while others appear barren, as if some parts of the map are filled with stars and others have only emptiness. Why does this happen? In its early days, shortly after the Big Bang, the universe was a hot soup of subatomic particles. As it expanded and cooled, small fluctuations in the density of this soup began to influence the formation of structures. Areas with a bit more matter started to attract additional material, creating zones of higher density. Thus, the first filaments of the cosmic web were formed. Imagine you are at a very crowded party. If there is a group of people in one corner, it is likely that more people will feel drawn to join that group. Something similar happens in the universe. Galaxies cluster into groups and superclusters following these filaments, while the emptier regions become the vast voids of space. But what if I told you that these voids are also important? They are essential for understanding the history of the universe and how it has evolved. Now let's think about the role of dark matter in all this. Although we cannot see it directly, we know it is there, acting as an invisible glue that holds galaxies together. Without this dark matter, galaxies would scatter, and their formation and stability would be impossible. But what exactly is dark matter? It is a mystery that has intrigued scientists for decades. It is believed to make up about 85% of the matter in the universe, but we still do not know what it is composed of. Through careful observations, scientists have been able to map the distribution of dark matter in the cosmos. Imagine you are looking at the night sky through a telescope. You can see the stars and galaxies, but what you do not see is the network of dark matter surrounding them. This network acts like a cosmic skeleton, shaping the form of the universe and guiding the formation of new structures. Have you ever wondered how the cosmic web relates to the evolution of galaxies? As galaxies travel along these filaments, they can collide and merge, forming larger galaxies. This process of merging not only transforms the structure of galaxies, but also triggers the formation of new stars, creating a continuous cycle of stellar life. The cosmic web is not just a map of density, it is also an indicator of the history of the universe. It helps us understand how matter has been distributed and how it has influenced the evolution of large-scale structures. As astronomers continue to investigate, each new discovery brings us closer to unraveling the secrets of the cosmos. Imagine if we could travel through this web, Each galaxy, each cluster, and each void would be stops on an epic journey filled with wonders and surprises. From the explosions of colliding stars to the formation of new worlds, the cosmic web is a reminder of the beauty and complexity of the universe. As we advance in our exploration, the cosmic web also raises fundamental questions about our place in the universe. If we are a small part of this vast network, what does that mean for us as a species? How do we influence this immensity, and how are we influenced by it? The search for answers to these questions leads us to reflect on our role in the cosmic history. As we delve deeper into this fascinating web, each discovery reminds us that the universe is a dynamic and ever-changing place. The cosmic web is not just a collection of galaxies and dark matter. It is a symbol of the interconnectedness that exists throughout the cosmos. Every star, every planet, and every form of life is intertwined in this great fabric, and although it often seems that we are alone in the vastness, we are actually part of something much larger. So the next time you look up at the sky, remember that you are not just seeing stars, you are observing the cosmic web in action, a vast system that has taken billions of years to form and continues to evolve before our eyes. The universe is an amazing place, full of mysteries and wonders yet to be discovered. What are star clusters, and why are they so fascinating? These groupings of stars offer us a unique glimpse into the history of the universe. Imagine a vast garden where the stars are flowers, each with its own brightness and color, but all connected by the same soil. That's what star clusters are like, bound by gravity, traveling together through space. Clusters are divided into two main categories: globular clusters and open clusters. Globular clusters are like small ancient cities filled with old stars that have been together for billions of years, while open clusters are more like a group of young friends full of energy and newly formed. How many stars are in a cluster? In a globular cluster, you can find hundreds of thousands of stars, while in an open cluster, there are often only a few dozen or hundreds. Each cluster tells a different story. But how do these clusters form? In the heart of a nebula, where gas and dust accumulate, the forces of gravity begin to attract these particles. As they compress and heat up, new stars emerge. Over time, these stars group together, forming clusters that follow their own path through space. It's like a group of friends meeting at a party and deciding to explore the universe together. Star clusters are extremely important for astronomers. Studying them is like reading a book of cosmic history. By observing how stars behave in these groups, scientists can learn about the formation and evolution of stars. Can you imagine being able to see how a star is born, grows and dies all in one place? That's what clusters allow us to do. In globular clusters, the stars are very old, some of them over 13 billion years old. This means they are witnesses to a time when the universe was very different. By studying these stars, scientists can better understand what the universe was like in its early days. Isn't it impressive to think that some of those stars have existed since the beginning of time? On the other hand, open clusters offer us a different view. These groupings are often filled with young, bright stars that are still in the process of formation. Here, the life of the stars is very active. New stars are forming while others are already beginning to die. This constant cycle of birth and death is a reminder that the universe is in a state of constant change. The interaction between stars in a cluster is also fascinating. As they spend time together, they can influence each other. Some stars may come so close that their gravity can cause them to merge, creating an even larger and brighter star. Who would have thought that stars could have such a profound effect on one another? But that's not all. Clusters can also be natural laboratories for studying dark matter. This mysterious substance, which we cannot see but know is there due to its gravitational influence, plays a crucial role in the formation and stability of clusters. Learning about how dark matter behaves in these groups can help us better understand the structure of the universe as a whole. Some clusters are so densely populated that the space between the stars becomes a place of constant interaction. The stars in these clusters can be pulled by the gravity of others, creating a dynamic landscape of movement and change. Imagine a cosmic dance where each star has its own role in a universal choreography. It is also interesting to note that star clusters can be the place where some of the heaviest elements in the universe originate. During supernova explosions, when massive stars die, enormous amounts of energy and elements are released, which can then be incorporated into the formation of new stars and planets. How amazing is it to think that some of the elements in our own bodies may have been created in the heart of a distant star? Star clusters, in addition to being a visual spectacle, are crucial for understanding the past and future of the universe. Studying their composition, dynamics, and evolution helps us answer fundamental questions about how our cosmos was formed and what the future holds. Are we observing a small part of an endless cycle? So the next time you look up at the starry sky, remember that each star you see could be part of a star cluster, carrying with it secrets of the universe. They invite us to explore beyond what we see, to wonder about the nature of life and death in the cosmos. What surprises does the vast garden of the universe hold for us? Each cluster is just a part of a much larger whole, a web of intertwined stories waiting to be discovered. What role does dust play in the vast stage of the cosmos? Although often overlooked, cosmic dust is a silent yet essential protagonist in the story of the universe. Imagine a vast ocean of gases and particles, where each grain of dust acts as a small brick in the construction of worlds and stars. This dust floating in space may seem insignificant, but its influence is monumental. Cosmic dust forms from the explosions of stars, known as supernovae, and from the fusion of elements inside stars. When a star dies, it releases an extraordinary amount of matter, which disperses into space. This matter, as it cools, clumps together and transforms into tiny particles of dust. Each grain, though small, represents a fragment of the universe's history, laden with elements that at some point may have been part of a brilliant star. But how does this dust actually influence the creation of new stars and planets? The answer lies in its ability to attract and group other materials. In nebulae, large clouds of gas and dust, these particles become the cores of future stars. As dust and gas accumulate, gravity begins to play its role. The small particles join together, forming increasingly larger structures, until the perfect conditions for a new star to be born are created at the heart of these nebulae. However, not all dust has the same destiny. Some of these grains become the fundamental components of planets. Just like an artist choosing the best colors for their work, the universe carefully selects the elements from cosmic dust that will form worlds. Planets, then, are not just celestial bodies. They are the manifestation of the history of the dust that gives them life, a tale of transformation and evolution. Now, did you know that cosmic dust also plays a crucial role in the formation of life? The elements that make up the dust, such as carbon, oxygen, and nitrogen, are fundamental to the chemistry of life as we know it. When planets form from this dust, they bring with them the necessary ingredients for life. Thus, dust not only builds stars and planets, but also lays the foundations for a possible home for living beings. In this sense, cosmic dust acts as a bridge between the past of the universe and its future. As dust transforms into stars and planets, it also becomes the stage where the stories of life unfold. Every atom that makes up our body, every molecule of water we drink, has its origin in this stellar dust. Isn't it fascinating to think that we are, in a way, stardust? Moreover, cosmic dust is not limited to nebulae or the formation of planets. It also plays a role in the dynamics of the universe. It can block the light from distant stars, creating regions of darkness that allow us to study the cosmos in surprising ways. This phenomenon is comparable to how a cloud can obscure the sun, allowing us to see things that would otherwise remain hidden. Can you imagine how many wonders of the universe are hidden behind those clouds of dust? The exploration of this cosmic dust has been a challenge for astronomers. Through telescopes and space probes, They have tried to unravel the secrets that these tiny particles hold. As technology advances, we are able to observe more and more details of this material. Scientists have discovered that dust can contain complex molecules, including the building blocks of life. This opens the door to the possibility that cosmic dust is not only the origin of our solar system, but may also have played a role in the emergence of life in other corners of the universe. Cosmic dust is also found in our own galaxy, the Milky Way. In its spiral arms, enormous clouds of dust can be found that, although invisible to the naked eye, have a profound impact on the formation of new stars. This cosmic spectacle, though invisible, is essential for the evolution of our galaxy. Without this dust, the life cycle of stars would be interrupted, and the universe would be a very different place. Finally, the study of cosmic dust also offers us a window into the past of the universe. By analyzing the composition of this dust in different regions of space, scientists can infer how the cosmos has changed over the eons. Each grain of dust is like a small fossil that tells the story of its formation, its journey through time, and its influence on the generations of stars and planets that have existed. The next time you look at the starry sky, remember that every star, every planet, and every flash of light you see is intimately connected to that cosmic dust. Although it may seem a tiny component, its role is fundamental in the narrative of the universe. So the next time you think about the cosmos, don't forget the humble dust that silently builds and gives life to the wonders of the universe. Who knows what other secrets cosmic dust holds within, waiting to be discovered by those who dare to look beyond the obvious. Welcome to a fascinating journey through the rings of Saturn, one of the most dazzling wonders of our solar system. Have you ever looked up at the sky and wondered what lies beyond the stars? Saturn, the second largest planet, not only amazes us with its size, but also with its impressive ring system. But what are those rings really? How did they form, and why are they so special? The rings of Saturn are like a huge necklace of cosmic jewels, shining with colors and textures that challenge our imagination. Composed mainly of ice and rock particles, these rings extend over 200,000 kilometers. But here's the intriguing part. Despite their size, their thickness is only a few hundred meters. How is that possible? Imagine a giant thin pizza where each ingredient, each ice particle, plays a crucial role. Now, what causes that fascinating beauty? The answer lies in gravity. Saturn, with its enormous mass, acts like a magnet, attracting these icy and rocky fragments that orbit around it. Saturn's gravity keeps the rings together, but it also gives them life. Sometimes a small satellite nearby can cause the ring material to stir, creating beautiful patterns and waves. Can you imagine watching a dance of sparkling particles moving to the rhythm of gravity? Let's talk a bit about the composition of these rings. Although they appear to be dazzling white, they are actually made up of different types of ice. Did you know that some of those ice fragments are as large as mountains? Additionally, there are small particles of dust and rock that mix with them, creating a unique visual spectacle. It's like a vast cosmic canvas where nature has decided to paint with its own palette of colors. As we explore more about the rings, it's fascinating to think about their origin. The most common theory suggests that these rings may have formed from the destruction of a moon that came too close to Saturn. The planet's gravitational force was so strong that it disintegrated the moon, turning it into thousands of pieces that now form the spectacular ring system. Isn't it amazing how such a catastrophic event can give rise to something so beautiful? However, the beauty of Saturn's rings is not just visual. They also play an important role in understanding the history of the solar system. By studying the rings, scientists can gain clues about the formation of planets and moons. Every particle that orbits around Saturn tells a story that dates back billions of years. Can you imagine the hidden knowledge they could reveal? The rings are not static. In fact, they are in constant motion and change. Some particles may collide with each other, creating new structures and patterns. Other fragments may be pulled by the gravity of Saturn or its moons, causing the rings to change shape and size over time. Did you know that Saturn's rings could disappear in about 100 million years? It's a reminder that in the vast cosmos, nothing is eternal. And speaking of moons, it's fascinating how the interaction between Saturn and its moons influences the structure of the rings. Some moons act as shepherds, helping to keep the ring material in place. For example, the moon Prometheus plays a crucial role in forming the boundaries of the rings, creating what are known as gravity waves. It's as if these moons are cosmic gardeners tending to their garden of rings. As we observe the rings, we also notice that not all rings are the same. Saturn has several rings, each with distinct characteristics. The most famous ring, the A ring, is the brightest and densest, but there are other rings, like the F ring, that are much thinner and harder to see. What do you think causes these differences? The answer lies in the amount and size of the particles that make up each ring. Sunlight plays a crucial role in the beauty of the rings. When sunlight hits them, the icy particles reflect the light in a way that creates a variety of colors and brightness, depending on the position of the sun and the perspective from which they are observed. The rings can appear almost transparent or intensely bright. Isn't it impressive to think that the light we see today has traveled millions of kilometers just to illuminate these magnificent rings? In summary, Saturn's rings are much more than a simple visual spectacle. They are witnesses to the history of the solar system, reflecting the interaction of cosmic forces and the beauty of nature. Every fragment that makes up these rings has its own story to tell, a tale intertwined with the mystery of the universe. Can you imagine what else is left to discover about these rings and what they could reveal about our own place in the cosmos? So the next time you look up at the sky and see Saturn, remember that those rings are much more than a beautiful image. They are a reminder of the complexity and wonder of the universe, a universe that is always waiting to be explored and understood. Human curiosity has driven research and exploration, and those who look up are the ones who will continue to unravel its secrets. Are you ready to keep exploring? The expansion of the universe is one of the most fascinating and surprising concepts in modern cosmology. But what does it really mean for the universe to be expanding? Imagine a balloon that you are slowly inflating. As the air enters the balloon, its surface stretches and expands. Every point on the surface of the balloon moves away from the others. In the same way, the universe is constantly expanding, and we know this thanks to some astonishing discoveries. The first clue about this expansion came from the astronomer Edwin Hubble in the 20th century. Hubble observed that galaxies were moving away from us, and the farther away they were, the faster they were moving. Isn't it surprising to think that space itself is stretching, carrying galaxies along with it? This observation led us to pose an intriguing question. If the universe is expanding, what was there before it began to do so? The answer to that question takes us to the famous Big Bang. This event was not an explosion in space, but an expansion of space itself. In its earliest moments, the universe was extremely hot and dense, and it has been cooling and expanding ever since. Over time, particles, atoms, and eventually the stars and galaxies we see today formed. But what does that mean for us? The expansion of the universe also challenges our understanding of gravity. Normally, gravity acts like glue that holds things together, but on cosmological scales, gravity faces a new competitor, dark energy. This mysterious force seems to be driving the acceleration of the universe's expansion. Can you imagine that there is something in the universe pushing galaxies to separate faster? It's a concept that challenges us to think about the nature of reality. Thinking about the expansion of the universe can lead us to reflect on the ultimate fate of everything we know. If the universe continues to expand indefinitely, what will its future hold? Some scientists suggest that there may come a time when galaxies move so far apart from each other that they become invisible to us. In an eternally expanding universe, stars will eventually burn out, and the cosmos will slowly cool, becoming a dark and lonely place. However, the expansion of the universe is not just a distant phenomenon. It also has implications for our daily lives. For example, the redshift of light coming from distant galaxies helps us understand how the universe works. When a galaxy moves away from us, the light it emits is stretched. causing it to shift toward the red end of the spectrum. This phenomenon allows us to study the speed at which galaxies are moving and better understand the nature of the universe. Research on the expansion of the universe has led to tools and technologies that affect our everyday lives. The telescopes and scientific instruments we use today are based on the principles of physics we have discovered by studying the cosmos. Have you ever wondered how advances in astronomy can influence the technology we use daily? The study of the expansion of the universe also invites us to consider our position in the vast cosmos. Each of us is part of this cosmic story unfolding over billions of years. As we look up at the stars, let's remember that we are observing not only the past, but also the future of the ever-changing universe. However, the expansion of the universe is not the only mystery surrounding us. Questions about the nature of time and space are deeper than we might imagine. What if time is not linear, but can curve and bend in ways we do not yet understand? The expansion of the universe leads us to question how we perceive reality. In this immense cosmic stage, human curiosity plays a fundamental role. The quest for knowledge about our universe is one of the most intrinsic characteristics of our species. What drives us to look up at the sky and question our place in it? Perhaps it is the very spark of curiosity that ignited the flame of exploration and science. As we continue to observe and study the universe, it is essential to remember that knowledge is a constant journey. Each discovery leads us to new questions and invites us to explore further. So when you look up at the stars, think about the vast expansion of the universe and the wonders that are yet to be discovered. The expansion of the universe is not just a physical concept, but an invitation to reflect on our existence and the meaning of life in a constantly transforming cosmos. It reminds us that we are part of something much larger, and that although we may sometimes feel small, our questions and curiosities contribute to the understanding of the universe. In the quest to understand the cosmos, each of us becomes an explorer. So, what new horizons await us in the future? What secrets of the universe will the next generations of scientists and dreamers reveal to us? The answer to these questions may be closer than we think, and the journey has only just begun. Gravitational waves are a phenomenon that might seem straight out of a science fiction novel, but in reality, they are one of the most fascinating tools we have to explore the universe. Imagine that space-time, that fabric that holds everything we know, is like a huge elastic surface. When something massive like a star or a black hole moves across this surface, it creates ripples, much like when you throw a stone into a pond. These ripples are the gravitational waves, and they are the echoes of cosmic events occurring in the farthest corners of the universe. But what kind of events generate these waves? Astronomers have discovered that collisions of black holes, supernova explosions, and neutron star mergers are some of the most powerful sources of gravitational waves. When two black holes orbit each other and finally merge, they release an incredible amount of energy, equivalent to what could be generated by billions of suns. This release of energy travels through space as waves that can be detected here on Earth. How do we know they exist? In 2015, scientists from the Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory, known as LIGO, announced the first detection of gravitational waves. It was a historic moment that confirmed a prediction made by Albert Einstein over a century ago in his theory of general relativity. The excitement in the scientific community was palpable because it was not just a discovery, but the opening of a new window to observe the cosmos. The detection of gravitational waves is an extremely delicate process. Detectors like LIGO are so sensitive that they can pick up changes in distance that are smaller than the diameter of a proton. Imagine trying to measure the thickness of a human hair from several kilometers away. That is the precision required to detect the waves that pass through our planet. When a gravitational wave passes, it stretches and compresses space in such a way that the detectors register those subtle changes. What do these waves really tell us? Each detected event tells a story about the universe. For example, by studying the waves produced by the merger of black holes, scientists can infer the mass of the black holes involved and even the distance at which they occurred. This not only helps us better understand the dynamics of these objects, but also gives us clues about how they form and evolve in the cosmos. The understanding of gravitational waves is revolutionizing astronomy. Until now, we have primarily observed the universe through light. However, gravitational waves allow us to hear what is happening in space. Imagine that the universe has its own sound language, and gravitational waves are its deepest and most resonant notes. Each time we capture a signal, we are deciphering a part of that cosmic symphony. But why is this discovery so important? Gravitational waves offer us a new way to explore cosmic events that might otherwise be invisible to us. For example, supernova explosions can be difficult to observe in certain ranges of light, but gravitational waves allow us to detect them regardless of their direction. This greatly expands our understanding of the universe and provides new opportunities to discover unknown phenomena. The science of gravitational waves also raises intriguing questions about the nature of the universe. For instance, are there more massive objects in the cosmos than we can see? Gravitational waves could help us identify dark matter and other phenomena that we do not yet fully understand. Each detection is like opening a new chapter in a book that is still being written, and each new discovery raises more questions. As technology advances, the sensitivity of detectors will improve, meaning that in the future we could capture gravitational waves from even more distant and ancient events. Imagine what it would be like to hear the echo of the creation of the universe itself. A moment that occurred over 13 billion years ago. The possibilities are as exciting as they are infinite. The search for gravitational waves has also fostered international collaboration. Scientists from around the world are working together in a network of observatories to capture and analyze these waves. This highlights the importance of joining forces in science, uniting brilliant minds that share the same goal, unraveling the mysteries of the cosmos. In the end, gravitational waves are not just a physical phenomenon. They are a reminder of how little we know and how much there is still to discover. Every time we hear the whisper of the universe through these waves, we come a little closer to answering profound questions about our existence and the place we occupy in the vast stage of the cosmos. So, what does the future hold for us? As we continue to develop new technologies and observation techniques, it is likely that gravitational waves will reveal secrets we cannot yet imagine. Perhaps in the not-too-distant future, we will discover events that will change our understanding of physics, cosmology, and ultimately ourselves. The adventure is just beginning, and each detection is another step toward understanding the majesty of the universe. The search for life on other worlds is a topic that has sparked humanity's curiosity since time immemorial. Could there be a planet like ours, full of life and color? The idea that we are not alone in the vast universe is undoubtedly fascinating. As we gaze at the starry sky, we wonder, what lies beyond our home on Earth? When thinking about other planets, it's easy to let the imagination run wild. In our own solar system, some worlds have captured our attention more than others. Mars, for example, is a place that has been the subject of countless investigations. Its surface, with its deep canyons and towering mountains, makes us wonder if it ever harbored life. Could we find microorganisms that once inhabited its dry lands? The possibility of liquid water, even if only in the form of ice, gives us a glimmer of hope. But Mars is not the only candidate. Let's consider Europa, one of Jupiter's moons. The ice layer covering its surface hides a deep ocean, and this ocean could provide a suitable environment for life. Science has begun to explore the idea that beneath that ice, there may exist life forms similar to those we find in the depths of our oceans. So who knows? Perhaps there are creatures swimming in the darkness of that vast ocean. And if we look beyond our solar system, exploration becomes even more exciting. Exoplanets, those worlds orbiting distant stars, are a burgeoning field of research. So far, we have discovered thousands of them, and some lie in the so-called habitable zone, where conditions might be suitable for liquid water. But what does it really mean to be in the habitable zone? It's like finding the perfect spot on a farm where plants can grow, not too hot, not too cold, with enough light and water. The variety of exoplanets is astounding. Some are gas giants, others are rocky, and some even have intriguing characteristics. Imagine a planet where it rains crystal or where the oceans are made of lava. Still, the question persists. Is there life on any of them? The search for signals, for possible messages from advanced civilizations, has become an obsession for many scientists. Projects like SETI aim to listen for the whispers of the universe, hoping to catch a signal indicating that we are not alone. But the search for life is not limited to the exploration of distant worlds. We are also learning to look around us. On Earth, we find extremophiles, organisms that survive in extremely harsh conditions. From the depths of the ocean to acidic environments, these tiny survivors show us that life can thrive in the most unexpected places. If life can exist in such extreme conditions here, could it also do so on other planets? The possibility of life in the universe raises profound philosophical questions. If we find life, how would it change our perspective on ourselves and our place in the cosmos? Would we be able to communicate with them? The idea of an interplanetary encounter is both a dream and a challenge. The history of humanity is filled with encounters between different cultures, and each of those encounters has brought with it lessons and transformations. What could we learn from alien civilizations? Moreover, the search for life on other worlds leads us to reflect on the preservation of our own planet. Earth is an oasis in the vast cosmic desert, and with each passing day, it becomes more urgent to take care of it. If life is rare in the universe, we must do everything possible to protect what we have. So in our quest for answers, we must also be responsible. As we move forward in this search, the future looks promising. Space missions continue to unveil secrets and expand our knowledge. Technology is advancing by leaps and bounds, allowing us to explore beyond what we once thought possible. With each new discovery, we come a little closer to answering the question that has intrigued humanity for generations. Are we alone in the universe? The journey toward understanding the cosmos is filled with wonders and surprises. The search for life on other worlds is just one facet of this incredible odyssey. So as we look to the stars, let us remember that every question we ask and every answer we find brings us closer not only to understanding our place in the universe, but also to grasping the very essence of life itself. Ultimately, the search for life on other worlds is not just a matter of science, but also of hope. The possibility that other beings exist with their own stories and experiences invites us to dream and continue exploring. With each new discovery, let us remember that the cosmos is a vast sea of mysteries waiting to be unveiled. The adventure is just beginning, and the universe has much to tell. What do a vinyl record, a message in a bottle, and a journey to the stratosphere have in common? Each of them is an attempt at communication, a search for connection. In the vast and enigmatic universe, the Voyager probes have been our ambassadors, sending stories and data from the far reaches of the solar system. These spacecraft, launched in 1977, are more than mere machines. They are time capsules carrying a piece of humanity into the unknown. The mission of the Voyager probes began with an audacious ambition to explore the outer planets of the solar system. Can you imagine a journey so extensive that it takes you through the beauty of Jupiter, the rings of Saturn, and beyond? The Voyagers have allowed us to glimpse worlds that previously existed only in our imagination, revealing stunning details. The storms on Jupiter, for example, are so large they could swallow the entire Earth. Can you imagine a storm so enormous that it makes you question the scale of our own planet? But the Voyagers have not only been witnesses, they have also been explorers. With each photograph, each measurement, they have gathered invaluable data about the composition and dynamics of the planets. When Voyager 1 approached Saturn, its cameras captured images that showed us a world full of wonders. The rings, those delicate filaments of ice and dust, became a visual spectacle that dazzled scientists and enthusiasts alike. Who could have imagined that those rings are so complex and beautiful, like a masterpiece of moving art? As the probes continued their journey, they also began to cross the boundaries of our solar system. In 1987, Voyager 1 became the first human-made object to reach interstellar space. What does that really mean? Imagine you are on a ship in the middle of the ocean, and suddenly you realize you have sailed beyond the known shores. Voyager is that ship, exploring uncharted waters, sending back data that helps us understand not only our solar system but also the vast universe that surrounds us. As the probes ventured into the unknown, they carried with them a message, the famous golden record. This record is a kind of time capsule, an attempt to communicate the essence of humanity to any form of life that might find it. Can you imagine being an extraterrestrial who discovers a golden record in space? This record contains greetings in over 100 languages, music from all over the world, and a selection of images that portray the diversity of our species. It's like a family album, but on a cosmic scale. The journey of the Voyager probes has not been easy. Over time, the extreme conditions of space have begun to affect their systems. But despite the challenges, the probes continue to send data. Every signal we receive is a reminder of their tenacity and the human ingenuity that created them. How long do you think they will be able to keep transmitting? They are expected to continue sending signals for several more years until they run out of power. It's a reminder that although these probes have traveled far, they are still connected to us. The Voyagers have also taught us about the environment in which they find themselves. They have studied solar wind, magnetic fields and radiation, providing crucial information about how our solar system interacts with interstellar space. Did you know that space is not empty? It is a place filled with particles and energy. And our probes have helped us understand how to navigate this cosmic sea. The story of the Voyager probes is also a story of perseverance. At first, many people doubted the viability of the mission, but thanks to the efforts of thousands of scientists and engineers, a triumph was achieved that has lasted for decades. Each discovery has expanded our knowledge of the cosmos and inspired generations. Isn't it fascinating to think that a small group of engineers could change our understanding of the universe? One remarkable aspect of the Voyager mission is its ability to unite humanity. No matter where you come from or what your story is, we all share an innate curiosity about the universe. The Voyagers have reminded us that despite our differences, we have a common goal: to explore and understand the cosmos we inhabit. At this moment, Voyager 1 is over 20 billion kilometers from Earth. Its journey has been long and lonely, but its legacy endures. Every time we hear its signals, we remember that we are part of something much larger. What other secrets will it reveal on its journey through space? Only time will tell. So the next time you look up at the starry sky, think of the Voyager probes. They are a symbol of our curiosity and desire to explore the unknown. They have taught us that although the universe is vast and mysterious, there is always more to discover, and that perhaps is what makes our existence so extraordinary. The Voyagers have traveled a path that many of us can only imagine. But their story does not end here. Each new discovery they make brings us a little closer to answering questions that have been on humanity's mind since time immemorial. What lies beyond what we know? What mysteries still await us in the vastness of the cosmos? As we reflect on their journey, let us remember that exploration never stops. Every advance in science and technology opens new doors, and every question leads us to new answers. So let us continue exploring, learning, and dreaming, because the universe is full of wonders waiting to be discovered. The vast universe offers us an unparalleled spectacle, a canvas of mystery and wonder that invites us to reflect on our existence. Each star, each galaxy, each tiny grain of cosmic dust tells us a story. But what does all this really mean for us? What place do we occupy in this immense cosmos? The grandeur of the universe is overwhelming, and sometimes we may feel insignificant in the face of its vastness. However, each of us is a product of this cosmos, created from the same elements that form stars and planets. Isn't it fascinating to think that within each of us there is a piece of the universe's history? We are, in essence, stardust, and that connects us in a profound way to everything that exists. Human curiosity, that spark that drives us to explore the unknown, has led entire generations to look up at the sky and wonder what lies beyond. But how many answers have we found so far? The quest for knowledge is endless, and each discovery opens the door to new questions. It's like a labyrinth where for every corner we turn, we find more paths to explore. Science has provided us with extraordinary tools to unravel these mysteries. From telescopes that allow us to see the depths of space to probes that travel beyond our solar system, yet each answer generates a new question. Upon discovering an exoplanet that could harbor life, we wonder, what forms might that life take? Will we be able to communicate with beings from other worlds? The beauty of the cosmos lies not only in its grandeur, but in its complexity. Consider the dance of the planets in their orbits, each following its own path in a perfectly orchestrated cosmic ballet. How is this balance maintained? Gravity, that mysterious thread that binds all celestial bodies, is the answer. But what happens when this balance is disrupted? The collisions of galaxies and the creation of black holes are just some of the actions that result from this fascinating game. As we explore the universe, we also confront concepts that seem to challenge us. Dark matter and dark energy are two of the great enigmas that we have yet to solve. What are they really? How do they affect the structure of the universe? Although we cannot see them, their influence is undeniable. In this sense, science resembles a giant puzzle where some pieces are still missing, but the final picture is becoming clearer. Every discovery we make brings us closer to understanding our place in the universe. The expansion of the cosmos, for example, reminds us that nothing remains the same. Everything is in constant motion. Imagine a balloon inflating. As it expands, the points drawn on its surface move away from each other. This is how our universe behaves, but where is it expanding to? Is there a limit? These are questions that will intrigue us for generations to come. The search for life on other worlds also plays a crucial role. Are we alone in this vast universe? The idea that there could be other forms of life, perhaps even intelligent ones, fills us with wonder. The exploration of exoplanets has revealed worlds that challenge our imagination. Some are similar to Earth, while others are completely strange. But the possibility of other sentient beings invites us to think about what a conversation with them would be like. And as we reflect on life on other planets, we cannot forget the missions that have taken our knowledge beyond the limits of our solar system. The Voyager probes, for example, have been our ambassadors in the vastness of space. With every piece of data they send back, they remind us that human curiosity knows no boundaries and that the desire to explore is innate. As we reach the end of this journey, it is essential to remember that our understanding of the universe is just the beginning. Science is advancing by leaps and bounds, and every day new theories and discoveries emerge that push us to reconsider what we know. The history of the cosmos is a constantly evolving narrative, and we are a part of it. Thus, the grandeur of the universe invites us to keep dreaming, to keep exploring, and to keep asking questions. Although we may never have all the answers, the simple act of questioning and seeking is what makes us truly human. Every star that shines in the sky is a reminder that despite how vast and uncertain the cosmos may be, our curiosity and desire to learn should never be extinguished. The exploration of the universe is an endless journey, an adventure that transcends time and space. And as long as we continue to look to the stars, there will always be something new to discover, something new to learn. The story of the universe and our connection to it is far from being fully told. So let us keep our gaze lifted and our hearts open, for the best is yet to come.